Hi, Jeff, right here, President CEO, South Bend Regional Chamber, continuing our conversations with candidates. We're sitting down with Chris Riley. Chris is a PHM school board candidate in the Harris Township seat. Chris also is a current school board member over there. Chris, welcome.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, we're glad to talk to you. Our members have found this to be a valuable tool, especially as they're thinking about elections, coming up here quick. And so, Chris, let's start for somebody who you've been around for a little while, and I think are fairly well known in the community. But for those who maybe haven't had a chance to get to know you in the past, tell us a little bit about who Chris Riley is.
Happy to. So I'm a Notre Dame educated lawyer. My full-time occupation is a lawyer. In 2010, voters in PHM first elected me to serve on the school board. And for 7 of the succeeding 12 years, I've served as president of the school board. To know me personally, I'm a dad. I'm a devout Catholic. I'm really active in our community, and especially on the PHM school board. I've just loved serving the students of PHM. My kids had a wonderful PHM experience, and it just brings me a lot of joy to be able to give back.
Great, Chris. Let's go back in time a little bit to 2010 and even in the years that follow. Talk to us a little bit about what obviously running for school board is a different level of a commitment. Tell us a little bit about what inspired you to put your name on the ballot the first time.
Just the experience of being at PHM. Like I said, my own children have had a wonderful experience there. PHM is such a rich educational community. I mean, by rich, I mean, obviously we offer so many things for our kids, academically and extracurricular opportunities for our kids for involvement. It's just a wonderful environment to be in, and it's truly an honor to serve on the PHM school board.
Chris, talk a little bit. So certainly in the last 12 years or so, things have changed in the public education space. Give us a little bit of state of public education and where we are today in PHM.
We stay focused on the priorities of the PHM school board. It's very, very important for the school board to stay in its lane. The school board is a nonpartisan board. We are in charge of budgeting, providing for upgrades to our physical space, our buildings, for example. We are in charge of 11,000 students and making sure that they have a warm, safe, healthy, and inclusive educational experience. That's what the school board does. And we are trustees, which means that we take an oath of allegiance strictly to the students we serve. We're not allegiant to one or the other of the political parties. We're nonpartisan, and that really gives us the opportunity to vote our conscience and to do what's in the best interest of our kids.
Chris, if you look back on your time on the school board so far, talk to us about one of the things you're most proud of during your time there.
I'd roll the clock back to 2012. 2012, we had a national tragedy in the Sandy Hook massacre. And at that point in time, we realized that, like Sandy Hook, we had some exposure. We had open concept floor plans for many of our schools, and that's how the shooter during Sandy Hook was able to effectuate what he was able to effectuate. And so we went into action immediately. We did not sit around and let the grass grow. We allocated millions to physically upgrading our school. That was the short-term part of the plan. The long-term part of the plan is we implemented one of the most complex and sophisticated and effective prevention and response systems in the nation. As a result of that, we have been voted the 6th safest school district in the entire nation by Security Magazine. That's no small feat. That was an accomplishment that resulted from us developing a sound, coherent plan back in 2012 and sticking with it. Of all of the things that we've accomplished as a Penn School Board working with the administration, that's the one of which I'm proudest.
Great. Chris, look, as you obviously have enjoyed your time there. You're seeking re-election, and we appreciate you doing that. Talk a little bit about, should you get re-elected, what some of the Chris Riley's priorities are in the next 4-year term on the school board.
The first thing is we continue to focus our attention on safety, making sure that all of our kids have a warm, safe, healthy, loving academic environment in which to learn. I will always be steadfastly committed to making sure that safety is the school board's top priority. That's the first thing. Second thing is, we're still emerging from COVID. We were on again, off again. We were virtual, we were in person, we were masked, we were unmasked. We have a lot of kids who still need some help. We have swung into action with interventionists, identifying those areas and those students where we need to focus our attention. We have expanded our before school and after school opportunities for kids to get extra academic attention, but helping our teachers and giving them the resources to help our kids to be academically successful is my second priority. And the third thing is, it means a lot to me, Jeff. It really does, to enhance the professional dignity of the PHM School Corporation. I've been honored to serve as the president for 7 of my 12 years, running the school board meetings and staying on target and keeping the school board in its lane in terms of prioritizing what the school board should be doing and getting out of the way of the administration on things that the administration should be doing, while maintaining a healthy tone for our community means a lot to me, because at any given time, thousands and thousands of people are watching the PHM school board meetings, and other school districts are looking to us as a role model. And more importantly to me, our kids are looking to us as a role model. They're learning how to conduct civil discourse by looking at the PHM school board. So those three things, safety, academic performance, and maintaining the civility and the dignity of the school corporation, are three things that are most meaningful to me.
Right. Chris, what do you think the biggest challenge facing PHM in the years to come?
Well, obviously we pay very close attention to demographics. And in our region, our demographer has told us we are challenged with two realities. Number one, that our population is aging, meaning that we just don't have as many younger people with kids who are in school. And number two, our population is transitory, meaning that kids who are growing up here aren't really staying here. So we always have to make sure that we are as competitive as any school district can be. That's why we have undertaken measures to make sure that we attract and retain the highest quality educators we can. We just passed a 7% increase for all of our educators during the most recent school board meeting. And we're doing everything that we can to make sure that people know that PHM is the crown jewel of Northern Indiana in terms of an academic experience.
Great. Chris, we're going to expound on that thought for a quick second. Put your sales hat on a second. Somebody who's unfamiliar with the PHM system, thinking about enrolling their kids, what would you give them the sales pitch on why they should enroll at PHM?
How much time do I have? I would just tell you, you're going to get the best academic experience you can possibly get. And I'm not the only one who's going to be alone in telling you that. When I moved here some 25, 26 years ago, I was told you have to get a house in PHM because PHM school district is just wonderful, and it hasn't changed in the succeeding decades. Here's what I would tell you. You're going to have a school, your children are going to be enrolled in a school district that is at the top performing levels in the state. Our elementary school students, for example, most recent iLearn test tested in the top 3.67% of all test takers statewide. We have the 6th safest school district in the entire nation. We have extracurricular offerings for anybody who is interested in just about anything. We focus not just on college readiness, we also focus on career readiness, meaning we understand that there are some students for whom college just isn't the right path. I put our building and trades department up against any building and trades department in the entire country. They build houses any one of us would be very, very proud to have. And I'll tell you this, when you're in PHM, you get a lot of bang for your buck. In terms of being funded by the state, of all of the school districts who are located around us geographically, we get the least amount of money. I would also tell you, over the past decade or more, your property tax rate per $100 of assessed value has gone down over $1. In the last decade, it was more than 10 years ago, it was about $1.97. Now it's 93 cents. So you got a school corporation that is making do and making the most out of and making a wonderful educational experience for our students with the least amount of money. In short, that's where I would start. I could go on and on and on, but I think that gives you a snapshot of just how wonderful I consider this school district to be and how proud I am to be part of it.
Great. Chris, we're going to ask you to keep your sales hat on for the last question here. So voters have a choice. They're going to be selecting PHM school board members in the upcoming November election. Tell them why they should select Chris Riley for the Harris Township seat on the PHM school board.
This is a job I have absolutely poured my heart and soul into. I love it. I love working with our kids. I love seeing firsthand what the policies that the school board considers and adopts, how they play out when teachers are teaching our kids. When you vote for me, and if I'm elected, you can rest assured of one thing. You're going to have, as your trustee, a person who goes to bed at night wondering how he can keep your kids safe and is going to be committed to making sure that he does everything he can to keep his kids safe, your kids safe. When I go to bed at night, I'm thinking of what can I do to help out to make sure that our kids get the best educational experience possible? Are we allocating all of the resources that we can to accomplish that objective? Are there physical space limitations that need to be reconsidered? Is there money that needs to be reallocated to make sure that individual learners have the space in which to learn? And you're going to have a firm supporter of teachers. I am completely convinced that the best way that we maintain the success that we have is by attracting and retaining the highest quality educators possible. We've got them. We've got them. PHM has excellent, outstanding educators, and I'm so excited for the staff that we have. We need to attract more, and we need to keep the ones that we have. That's who you're going to be voting for when you consider voting for me.
Great. He's Chris Riley, candidate, Harris Township seat, PHM School Board. Chris, thanks so much for spending some time with us today.
Jeff, it's always good to see you.